Namaste YouTube Coven, welcome back to the mat and welcome to day 10 of our 12 days of Witchmas. In today's practice, my loves, we're going to slow things down. We're going to find a really beautiful and restorative stretch to release and let go of any stress we're holding in to the upper body, into the neck, the shoulders, the upper spine. Now, as I've said before on this journey, this time of year can feel pretty overwhelming whether or not you celebrate Christmas. It can feel a little bit of pressure for a new year. It can feel a little bit overwhelming of all the social events going on and just that kind of cold weather in general. So for day 10, we are going to release that stress from the upper body with some really gorgeous stresses, a couple of long hold poses, and just taking 20 minutes out of our day to take care of mind, of body, of soul. So my loves, for today's practice, you might want to find a little yogi helper. And you're going to want to grab a couple of blocks. If you don't have any blocks nearby, you can use some pillows and you can use a couple of books if that feels okay to you. But what we're going to do is we're going to begin by coming in to a shoulder opening child's pose. So big toes come to touch. You're going to take the knees about hips width apart and you're going to bring the blocks about shoulder width apart. So what we're going to do is you're going to bring the elbows onto the shoulders, getting yourself comfortable, wiggle the head between them. And then you're going to start to drop the thumbs towards the back of the neck. Relax the forehead to the mat. So you can have the blocks lying flat down, or if you feel like you've got some space to play with, you can flip them onto the side. But coming into the space of our practice today by taking a beautiful deep breath in through the nose. And a slow breath all the way out. Starting to relax our way into the practice today. Feeling the physical body soften with every exhale. And with every inhale, you start to invite in a deeper feeling of peace. The energy of release, of cleanse, of letting go. And as I said, my love's day 10 is focused on really kind of pushing off the weight of the world from our shoulders, finding that stress release, a little bit of a reset. So before we go any further with the practice, I encourage you here to invite in the energy of release. So setting intention to let go. Maybe of something particular that you have in mind. Maybe just that kind of stress release in general is all good. But set it here in the mind, seal it with your breath. As we take a deep breath in through the nose. And a slow breath out. On your next inhale, you're going to start to draw the hands away from the back of the neck and start to lift the head up. Finding a block with one hand, find it with the other as you start to walk your way into a tabletop position. Now from this tabletop, we're just going to take a few cat-cows. So inhale to drop the chest. Exhale to curve. Taking it once more. Before we pop those blocks out of the way for the moment, I'm going to come into a thread the needle pose. So from here, rooting down through the left hand, you're going to inhale to pull the right arm high to the sky. Exhale, thread the right arm underneath the left, so you come to lie on the side of the head. You have the option to walk the left hand forwards. You have the option to pull the left arm to the sky and maybe pivot on the head to gaze towards the thumb. If it feels comfortable to you, you might choose to extend that left leg, finding a balance, and just let that left arm drop up and over. So choosing the variation that you wish as we hold for 10 breaths. Halfway through, 5 more breaths. And as we inhale, on your exhale, left hand comes back to the mat as we relax the left knee down. Inhale, roll that body back into the center, rooting through the right hand. Inhale, pull the left arm high to the sky. Exhale, thread left arm underneath the right, coming into your thread the needle variation. Option 1, right hand forwards. Option 2, pull the right arm to the sky, pivoting on the head to gaze towards the thumb. Option 3, you can extend that right leg behind you and let the right arm really kind of drop back here. 10 breaths wherever you choose to be, remembering one variation is not greater than the other. Five more breaths halfway through. As we inhale, exhale, right hand comes down to the mat, relax the right knee and roll that body in to a tabletop position. From here, we're going to move into a seated hero's pose. So you can sit back, maybe straight to the heels, or you can use those blocks as a little bit of a support, coming to sit back on them. So the legs are about hips width apart and you have the support of the blocks to keep the spine long. Now closing the eyes, roll shoulder blades away from the ears, start to take your gaze inwards, really tuning in to what's happening in the upper body. Maybe you immediately feel the anxiety and that stress, you feel the body kind of rounding into the shoulders. Maybe on day 10 of this journey, you start to feel a little bit of a lift through the heart center, you're shining it forwards. Now with those eyes closed, let's start to find some gentle shoulder rolls. So we're going to draw the shoulders forwards, lift them towards the ears and then send it back. Before we move and take those circles in the other direction, rolling them back, lift them to the ears as you round them forwards. Taking it once more. Before we roll the shoulders back away from the ears, find length through the crown of the head, and we're going to come into our cow face stretch. So you're going to inhale to send that right arm to the sky. Exhale to bend it into the elbow and start to drop the right hand to the back of the shoulder. So maybe it rests on the back of the neck, maybe it comes in between the shoulder blades. Option 1, left hand can come to that right elbow, pressing it down a little bit as you find that lift through the spine. Or option 2, you sweep the left arm forwards, sweep it to the side, and then bend the elbow and start to find your way into a cow face bind. Again, one variation is not greater than the other. What we're avoiding is the rounding into the spine to the shoulders, as the kind of tightness of that right shoulder might pull us forwards. We want to feel like we're elongating from that spine. We're shining our heart forwards. 10 breaths. Three more breaths, maybe starting to feel a little bit of vibrations come down that right arm. Inhale. On your exhale, untangle from the bind, and from here we're going to send that right arm forward, immediately cross it across the chest and tuck it into the crook of the left elbow, squeezing it so you find a really beautiful tricep stretch. Let me turn so get a little better look. So crossing it in front of the body, take your gaze over to the right hand side. Inhale. Exhale, relax it here. And I'm going to take it to the other side. So inhale, pull the left arm nice and high to the sky, bend into the elbow. You might find that it feels more comfortable to bring the right hand to the left elbow and press it down, or sweep the right hand forward as you inhale. Exhale, sweep it around, and maybe you find the bind. Like me, you might notice that one side of the body really loves that bind, one side of the body does not. So don't force it to go anywhere it doesn't want to go. Five more breaths. Taking a deep breath in, a slow breath out. Untangle from that bind as you send the left arm forward, and then cross it in front of the chest, tuck it into the crook of the right elbow, and take your gaze to the left hand side. Apologies if the mic has gone a bit weird. Holding for 3, for 2, and 1. Bring both arms back into the center and staying sat onto the blocks or onto those pillows. We're going to come into a malasana pose just to open up the chest. So bringing the feet forward, flat to the mat, heels in, toes point out. We're going to press the hands into a prayer position and then press the knees away. So we find a little lift. So not only are we kind of opening the hips a little bit, we're starting to find length through the crown of the head. We're not going to stay here long, about 10 breaths again. But really looking to activate all those chakras now. They're all aligned. Reflecting here on what your intention was for day 10. Taking one more deep breath in and a slow breath out. From here, we're going to press the right arm against that right leg. Maybe the hand comes to the mat as you pull the left arm all the way to the sky, opening up the side body, holding for 3. We hold for 2. And for 1, move through center, press left arm against the left leg, right arm to the sky, holding for 3. We hold for 2. And for 1, gently come back into the center, heel, toe, the feet closer. And all we're going to do is move off the blocks for a moment. I'm going to come into one final long hold pose, which is our supported fish pose. So 1, block acts as a pillow. Second block is going to come lengthways to go in between the shoulder blades. So starting to relax all the way down, block wiggles between the shoulder blades, back of the head rests on the other. Now from here, relax the arms by your side. Option to keep the knees touching, feet walk wider apart, or option to bring the bottom of the feet to touch in a Baddha Konasana, butterfly legs. Moving into the space of this final beautiful pose for that stress release with a deep breath in. Slow breath out. Allowing the belly to rise and fall. Feeling the blocks between the shoulder blades, lifting your heart to the heavens. And inviting the body with every exhale to truly melt into the support of the block. So feel like you're really melting away any unwanted anxieties or worries. Inviting in their place for space, freedom to come in. 10 more breaths. Now, my loves, you might recognize that you need a little bit longer in this supported fish pose, maybe in your practice today. Tune into your needs, and if you'd like to stay longer, press pause, relax, turn on your favorite music. If you're ready to move out with me, if the legs from Baddha Konasana, you're gently going to bring them to touch. Very gently, we allow the body to roll to one side, taking the hands in a prayer position under the side of the head like a little pillow. Before we press the hands to the mat and start to lift up into a comfortable seated position. Sending shoulders from the ears, hands onto the knees. Taking a big roll back with the shoulders, feeling the freedom that you've created in that upper body, having released all the unwanted tension, all the anxieties, pointless worries we don't need. And we're going to seal this practice with a beautiful deep breath in through the nose. And a slow breath out, bringing the hands to prayer at heart center, thumbs between the eyebrows. Bowing low, with love, with gratitude, with blessings to ourselves for coming to the mat today, to those who join us in this beautiful online community, and from me to you, thanking you for joining me for day 10 of our 12 days of Witchmas journey. I really hope you enjoyed today's practice to go alongside, obviously, our lower body release. I hope you feel that freedom. I hope you feel like you've kind of untied some of those knots of stress as you dedicated just 20 minutes of your day to your well-being. As always, my loves, it was such a joy to flow with you today, and if you enjoyed today's practice, I would appreciate any kind of support from my little channel, liking this video or even subscribing. And I won't go on about it, but if you want to find out more about my Magic Through Movement memberships, follow the link in the description box below. But it was such a joy, my loves, and I cannot wait to meet you back here again tomorrow for day 11. Blessed be.